My name is Dr. Patience Monica Mator, resident in the OBGYN department here at the JFK Maternity Center, and an alumni of Merck Foundation scholarship in embryology. And I currently work at JFK Hospital. So basically, I was initially working at a hospital, a local hospital in Buchanan, one of the government hospitals in Buchanan. And then they sent out some communication to our association, which is the Liberia Medical and Dental Association. So I got the information that they had this scholarship out for people who had interest in fertility medicine and basically embryology at the time. So I sought the opportunity to apply, and after I applied through the LMDA, I was successful, and then within few months, I was granted a visa to go to India to study embryology, for which I did, and then returned to Liberia in 2019. The training was very good. We learned a whole lot. We had a lot of great professors, people who had great experience in the area of embryology. So they were devoted professors who were waiting to teach us. Imagine me being a medical practitioner who's more busy with clinical work, going to do a lot on the microscope. So they were very patient enough to teach us. They make sure we learn all the different techniques in manipulating embryos, manipulating the sperm. And it was a wonderful experience with our professor, especially with their help, we came out successful. So far since I've come back, I've managed different patients, not basically in what I actually studied, not basically in the embryology part of fertility medicine, but fertility itself. What is it like? How can you screen your patients? How can you manage them? Basically, those are things I've been doing so far since I came back. And I've had successful management. I've had people who have come up to be having kids. I think currently we have about 4 cases. And basically those cases, I really manage them. And I come to notice that most of the Liberians, the situation of being infertile is not because they have genetic problems or because they have a tube that is blocked or whatever. Most of them are having intercourse at intervals that are not really coinciding with them being fertile. So if you ask them most of the time on whether they know their menstrual cycle, they don't. Whether they know their ovulatory period, they don't. So then that puts them to a situation where if this person is wanting to get pregnant, they got no idea on what time is it necessary or really good to have a sexual intercourse to get pregnant. So most of the cases so far I've had, that is exactly where I pay more attention to. Try to get information from the couples to know how regular they are having intercourse, at what time they are having intercourse. And once I identify that the actual cause is because they are not following the rightful time to have intercourse, then I teach them using a period tracker. And I've had a successful case on using a period tracker without using any clomicidrate or using any fertility medication. Yeah, but that's a lot of success so far, I can say. So most of the time when I'm seeing people who have fertility problems, I usually don't see them alone. And even I did some presentations in our department that have opened and broadened the minds of most of our colleagues. And we also had doctors who are here in Liberia who haven't even studied about being fertility doctors or whatever, but they also have the expertise. So we all work together and then try to impart our other colleagues on how to manage couples that are infertile. And I think that's one of the things that are happening now, especially when it comes to the investigatory aspect. A lot of the doctors you see in the outpatient department, they are following the procedures. It's almost like a protocol that we use in managing these patients. Once we see them, we move on to investigating them, investigating their partner also, and carrying on series of laboratory testing to see whether they are having tubal blockage, they are having genetic problems or whatever. And they are learning from it. A lot of them are learning, and we are all moving alongside in the management of infertile couples. I can just say that all thanks to Merck Foundation for the opportunity, but I have a serious bad feeling when it comes to my being in India, coming back to Liberia. I was zealous about leaving Liberia and coming back to Liberia to be able to give to people who were definitely in need of having a child. I was more concerned with that aspect of medicine, and up to date, I still have more interest in that aspect of medicine. But what is disheartening is that since we've been back to Liberia, we do not have a single center, fertility center, that is directly engaged, government center that is directly engaged in managing fertility couple. It is only our facilities that most of the time we use the little knowledge we've gained to work on patients with those problems. Now, we can diagnose if a patient is infertile. For the treatment aspect, whether we have to do IUI, whether we have to do ICSI, all of those things, we don't do them in Liberia. So at the end of the day, some of the couples you are able to see, you will only be able to diagnose them if definitely you can find the actual cause of their condition. You have no other means because you don't have the actual diagnostic tools to identify most of these things. The genetic or testing we don't have also in Liberia. So it's kind of difficult for us. We are not directly working in the part of managing or infertile couple. We are just basically seeing patients in the outpatient department, doing few tests that are available in Liberia, and leaving it up to God. And this is what we went for. It's not time to continue leaving it up to God. Every couple deserves to have a child. Every couple deserves to have a child. And I think we have a way, or we have a means that we can follow to be able to give people what they need when it comes to having a child.
Merck Foundation, thank you so much. Up to now, we still have connection with Merck Foundation. We are still participating in most of their conferences. They are still imparting knowledge onto us. We are having online programs, and they are making sure they continue to educate us. They are making sure that they get a rate of this whole stigma on fertility medicine. And the message is being preached all over. It's also being preached in Liberia. And it's all because Merck Foundation has put it up to that lighter point where people should pay attention. So we say thank you so much for everything you've done for us. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for the time that you continue to invest in us up to this time. Some people will have a program where you learn and they don't follow up on you. But Merck Foundation, time, they are always making sure they make follow up on us to know whether we are really doing what they have or send us to do in our rural country. So thank you.